In this video, we're going to find out why Baby Keem is taking so long to drop his album. Yo, right here in the small box. Yo, you, right here in the small box, Welcome back to Flex Mob Reactions, only on the Flex Mob Network. I'm Flex, welcome back to this channel. I hope everyone's doing good. Happy Sunday. Welcome back. Thank you for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. Now, this video is going to be from Rapaholics. Now, usually when Rapaholics drops, it's long form content. Like, it's on the level of podcasts, basically, in terms of video length, right? But I remember I was watching this video, this one specifically about Baby Keem, and towards the end of the video, I heard some very interesting news that might be concerning on levels that will get us pissed. And I would like to share that with the world. So, like, comment, share, subscribe, you know the vibe. You tapped in with your favorite Canadian reaction channel, reacting to one of my favorite Canadian channels. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Let's go.
He was teasing that he was going to keep going. He announced a brand new project titled Child with Wolves that was supposed to be his second album that was supposed to make its way to the world in 2024 or 2025. So what happened exactly with Child with Wolves, and why have we not heard Baby Keem music in 3+ years? Well, again, his second album, Child with Wolves, was teased in Instagram text in around January 2024, along with different mock-ups of what could potentially be the cover art for the project. But you guys probably know what happened just about a month and a half after that, right?
Well, I study rap battles for a living.
During the beef between Kendrick and Drake, Baby Keem was radio silent. The only thing he did was actually like a tweet that basically said Kendrick Lamar is the type of guy to vanish as the bus passes. But that was already a year ago. The last time we heard from Baby Keem was on Twitter also over a year ago when he tweeted, "What's new?" But what if there's a deeper reason why Baby Keem has not released music in the last 3 years? There really might be.
Spicy.
And it might stem back to that Kendrick and Drake beef, but not for reasons you guys might think. Now, shout out to the YouTube channel Geek About It for bringing this theory to light. I'm going to try to remember to leave a link in the description to their channel in this video, but I highly suggest you guys check out their channel. They do amazing videos and phenomenal research on everything hip-hop related, and they really unpack something that makes a lot of sense as to why we've seen so many delays in Baby Keem's project. So basically, I mean, you guys might have assumed, oh, Baby Keem was just silent so that Kendrick Lamar can have his moment, have his victory lap, right? Well, Kendrick Lamar has most definitely finished that victory lap. We can confirm that, right? Like, he dropped GNX again over a year ago. He went on the entire GNX tour, which wrapped up in December, which is approaching 2 months ago. I also don't think Baby Keem rolling out an album while Kendrick Lamar was on that GNX tour would interfere with the success of that tour in any capacity, right? And Baby Keem actually made an appearance at one of the dates. That was the first time we had saw him in many years when he stepped on stage again with Kendrick Lamar, I believe in around May of 2025. But ultimately, we hadn't heard new Baby Keem music, and it didn't make sense that the only reason why we hadn't heard Keem music is because, you know, he wanted to step out of the spotlight for Kendrick. Sure, in 2024, that excuse makes sense, but by 2025, not really. If anything, Kendrick Lamar bringing Baby Keem along for the ride, these massive moments like the Super Bowl or the pop-out, that would have brought more eyeballs onto Baby Keem. It would have been a better look for the both of them. But whatever, there's a bigger reason, all right? So keep in mind that Baby Keem was working quite heavily with Kendrick on his Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers album, but another individual who was working on that album pretty heavily was Boy Wonder, Drake's right.
One thing I gotta say is, when it comes to OVO, it runs deep in Toronto. If Boy Wonder did something to this, oh my God. Oh my God. It's going to be problems. It's going to be problems for, not in Toronto. Just think about how many people out there are waiting for Baby Keem. And then they come to find out Boy Wonder had something to do with the album not dropping anytime soon.
Was working quite heavily with Kendrick on his Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers album, but another individual who was working on that album pretty heavily was Boy Wonder, Drake's right-hand producer, who was actually a big fan of Kendrick Lamar before the beef popped off.
You know, To Pimp a Butterfly, I think you tweeted or said in an interview that it was a dream come true to be on that project. Why in particular? It was a dream come true because Kendrick is literally one of my favorite artists. So just to work with him and be a part of anything he was doing was a pleasure and was an honor.
But what's interesting here, and again, shout out to Geek About It for bringing this to light, is that Boy Wonder had actually brought in the studio with him a new producer that he signed named Janu. And Janu, sorry for mispronouncing his name, he had contributed production work on Kendrick's song N95, one of the singles off Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Around this time, he starts forming a close friendship with Baby Keem. And again, he's signed to Boy Wonder, right? Janu eventually is invited to join Kendrick's Big Steppers tour, specifically to help Baby Keem work on his new project. Throughout the tour, Baby Keem had frequently tweeted about recording songs late at night on the tour bus and often mentioned Scott Bridgway and Janu. You could tell they were definitely locked in on a creative process. But then the beef happens, right? And even though Boy Wonder was a fan of Kendrick, was happy to work with him in the past, obviously at this point, we're in a different circumstance. And Boy Wonder can be seen all across the timelines taking shots at Kendrick Lamar. Now, this directly impacts Baby Keem. Why? Because, again, Janu, who ended up becoming one of Baby Keem's closest collaborators over the last few years, is now caught in the middle of this entire thing. Ultimately, his loyalty lies with Boy Wonder, whose loyalty lies with Drake, right? Baby Keem has tons of music with both of them. I mean, he even put out a short film that was tied to the Melodic Blue, where he previewed 3 new songs, and 2 of those songs were actually produced by Boy Wonder. But Boy Wonder is not clearing any music for pglang at this point in time, and that's pretty obvious, right? I mean, Scott Bridgway, one of pglang's producers, had previously given beats to Playboi Carti, and Drake had recorded on one of them, and due to his affiliations to pglang, Scott had to end up not clearing any of the songs that included Drake.
Carti got a song with Drake. It's fire. I love it. It's not gonna be on there. No, Drake ain't on the album, my nigga. It's not gonna happen.
So it's likely that the same thing goes for Janu and Boy Wonder, right? Any music they have with Baby Keem, it's likely not coming out. It's not getting cleared. And that might mean that Baby Keem had to go back to the drawing board and completely restart the creative process because a large portion of it included this producer who was closely affiliated with, again, Boy Wonder, who's closely affiliated with Drake. It's interesting how this is almost like a full circle moment, right? Like initially, Baby Keem's career gets a massive boost when Drake puts a new set of eyeballs on him. And at this point, that very same momentum might be slowed down due to Drake and his producers pulling the plug. We obviously can't confirm.
Speculation, allegedly. Throw any word that you want to throw in there. Here's the thing. This ain't the first time you've heard something like this come out of Toronto. Let's make that clear right now. This kind of issue is well known around the city. So it's gotten to a point where it's like when you're looking at the whole situation of it, it's pretty critical, if we're going to be honest. Like I said, allegedly, speculation, whatever word that you want to throw in there. But this kind of issue is very familiar around the city. This has happened to a lot of artists, a lot of individuals. This is well-known information, okay? For the people that don't know, they're not tapped in. For the people that do know, it's not a surprise. Let's make that clear right now. This is an issue here. There's a lot of music and a lot of talent that just suddenly disappears because of certain individuals getting in the way of success. And the fact that this has fallen all the way to Baby Keem, that is crazy.
This, right? But it's an interesting connection. And aside from this, there are a couple other people close to Baby Keem who have alluded to new music potentially coming soon, but this was all months ago. Baby Keem is actually listed as one of the headliners for an upcoming festival in June. So the question ultimately still remains, where is Baby Keem? But ultimately, we do have an answer on one thing. Whether it was COVID-19, whether it was getting left off the Drake song, whether it was not being able to actually collaborate with his cousin Kendrick for many years, whether it was not even having a stage name and just going by his government name, for many years, whether it was not forming into his own artistic identity for many years until the point where he actually dropped a mixtape with no features and then went platinum with no features. Baby Keem can teach us all an important lesson of the beauty behind delayed gratification. I mean, it's been almost 4 years that Baby Keem has been radio silent ever since he was poised to be the next runner-up to lead this generation. But if he takes the same steps that he's been taking all throughout his career, outworking the competition and outworking his former self, then he'll be better than ever. The same way he had to delay actually rapping for his voice to develop while he went through puberty. The same way where he had to hold off on sending Kendrick Lamar music because he needed to wait some time for him to actually develop as an artist before he was confident of the records he was sending Kendrick. The same way he had to wait to get that Drake feature, which then turned into getting a Kendrick feature. The same way he had to wait to get his debut album out for the COVID pandemic to subside. The same way he may have to wait for his big moment in the spotlight due to this Drake and Kendrick beef and all of that music with Boy Wonder's team potentially being scrapped on Baby Keem's end. I think there's definitely one thing we can say for sure. The hype has never been bigger for Baby Keem to show and prove. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Let me go ahead and make it clear right now. Am I saying that this is going to stop him or hinder him? No. Because this is Baby Keem we're talking about. He is a very great creative mind. The music shows, the catalog shows, the success shows. So I'm not worried about him losing music or music not being cleared. It is what it is. I'm just speaking about the history that has around here. That's the issue. Now, do I think he's going to drop this year? Most likely. We're at the beginning of the year, but you have all year to drop. Regardless of the season that you want to choose to drop in, it really don't matter. I feel like he's going to lean more towards summer. A summer release would be very appropriate for Baby Keem. If you want to do spring, that's perfectly fine as well. That's when the second quarter starts in spring. So use spring to start your success run, right? Now, if you're going to go for fall, winter, now it's a little risky. I prefer spring, summer because those are peak seasons. Fall is a little down. Winter is down. That's what it is. If you're familiar with the timeline or how different seasons work within the industry and the time period, then you understand that the preferred seasons are the sunnier seasons. So go ahead and use those. But either way, all I got to say is expect Baby Keem to drop soon, right? That's the main thing that you got to expect. But it's just unfortunate after hearing this. It's like, no, I know about this. No, I know about this. I've heard of this before. This ain't a new road for us. So it kind of sucks that happened. But if that's true, then, well, that's going to get a little muddy. But either way, Baby Keem's coming soon, man. That's all I can say. So, listen, like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the vibe. You tapped in with your favorite Canadian reaction channel. Make sure you hit that sub button. Make sure you hit that hype button. And get litty with us, bro. That's all I can say, bro. Anyway, Flex Mob. Out.